Hello everybody, how are you? I hope all of you feel great. I am Miss Munira and our lesson for today is talking about heat conduction. Before we starting our lesson, we should spot the light on the heat energy and its uses in our life. Each picture is show a use from the uses of heat energy. The first one shows that some food industries need heat energy. And the second picture, it shows that we can cook without heat. So, the first two uses of heat energy, number one, cooking, number two, some food industries need heat energy. Other uses of heat energy, boiling the water to make coffee or Nescafe or cappuccino, and of course warming in winter and cold weather. We know before that there are many forms of energy. The heat energy is one of the forms of energy, but it is transferred from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. Again, what is the definition of heat energy? Heat energy is a form of energy, type from the types of energies that transfer. The heat energy transfer from what to what? From the high temperature to the low temperature. For example, if we are touching a hot cup of tea or hot chocolate, after a while we feel hot. Why? What happened? He says that the heat transfer from the hot cup to my hand. Again, the heat transfers from the higher temperature, which is the cup, to the lower temperature, which is my hand. Another example, if we are touching a piece of ice, after a while we feel cold. Why? What happened? Because the heat transfers from the higher temperature, which is my hand, to the lower temperature, which is the ice. That's why the ice is melting after touching it, because the heat that transfers from my hand. At this picture, we can see that the heat transfers from the flame of candle through a metallic spoon or iron rod to the lower temperature, which is my hand. So, the flame, it has the higher temperature and it transfers through the iron rod to the lower temperature, which is my hand. So the definition of temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Again, it's a degree of hotness or coldness of body. When we are cooking, we use a pot that can transfer heat, but the handles of this pot don't transfer the heat. We don't use a metallic spoon when we are cooking, but we use a spoon that's made of wood. Why there are some materials flow the heat through, and there are another material don't flow the heat through, don't transfer the heat. Okay, let's do an activity together. If we have a boiling water and we put plastic ruler and a metallic spoon and pencil, which made of wood, in this boiling water. Now we are going to touch the another side of plastic ruler and the another side of metallic spoon and the another side of pencil. We just feel hot when we are touching the second side or the another side of metallic spoon. But if we are touching plastic ruler or pencil, we don't feel hot. Why? The observation again from our activity that the metallic spoon let the heat to flow through it, let the heat to transfers through it, but pencil and the plastic ruler don't let the heat to flow. Why? They are saying that the materials are classified or divided into two groups. Material group number 1, heat conductors, and group number 2, heat insulators. Again, we are divided or classifying the materials into two types, two groups. Type number 1 or group number 1, we called it heat conductors. And type number 2, heat insulators. We know before that there are many forms of energy. The heat energy is one of the forms of energy, but it is transferred from the higher temperature object to the lower temperature object. Again, what is the definition of heat energy? Heat energy is a form of energy, type from the types of energies that transfer. The heat energy transfer from what to what? From the high temperature to the low temperature. So again, the examples of heat conductors: iron, aluminium, copper, stainless steel, and mercury. Note, mercury is the only liquid metal. All metals are in solid state except mercury, which is in liquid state. So the liquid metal is mercury and is a heat conductor. So the heat insulators, which are the second type of materials, they are materials don't let heat to flow through. Don't let the heat to flow through. Examples: wood, glass, plastic, paper, rubber, air, wool. And these two pictures show examples of heat insulators, which are glass and wood. So glass and wood are heat insulators because they are materials don't allow the heat to flow through, don't let the heat to flow through. Now we are talking about the life applications of heat insulators and heat conductors. The life application of heat insulator is the insulating glass window. This type of window consists of two glass sheets. Between two glass sheets, a space. This space is filled with air. And we are mentioned before that air is a heat insulator. So air don't let the heat to flow through, don't allow the heat to flow through. That making this type of windows insulating for heat. That's why we are called this window insulating glass window. Give reason why there is a space between the two glass sheets filled with air in the insulating glass window. The answer: to prevent any leakage of heat. Again, to prevent any leakage of heat. Now, the second life applications, which is the life application of heat conductors. If we are in the train station, we notice that there are spaces between the iron bars, the railway bars. Why? Why there is a spaces between these bars? We know that the railway bars are made of iron, and iron is expand in hot weathers. So if we don't leave spaces between these bars, when the iron expand, it may be twisted, so it will have an accident, train accident, if there is any twisting in iron bars. So to avoid any train accident, we have to leave spaces between railway bars, so the iron can be expand freely without any twisting and to avoid any train accidents. As we mentioned before, all metals are good conductors of heat. So let's do this activity together. If we have an copper rod, iron rod, aluminium rod, and a flame, and we exposed one end of all of them to the heat, to the flame, and we are touching the another end. What we will observe, what we will feel. Okay, after a while, we feel the hot at copper root. Then we feel hot at the aluminium root. Later, we feel hot at iron root. Why we don't feel the hot at the same time, at the same moment? That means that all metals are good conductors of heat, but are different in conducting heat. They somehow take more time to conduct heat than another. From our activity, we conclude that copper conducts heat faster than aluminium, and aluminium conducts heat faster than iron. So, metals are all good conductors of heat, but are different in conducting heat. Some metals conduct heat faster than the other. Some usage of heat conductors and heat insulators. Aluminium and stainless steel, which are heat conductors, they are used in making cooking pots and kettles that are used in houses and factories. Plastic and wood, which are heat insulators, they are used in making the handles of cooking pots, electric iron, kettles. Wool, which is a heat insulator, it's used in making heavy blankets and clothes, so they are used in winter. Why we are putting clothes made of wool in winter? To prevent any leakage of heat and so keep the body warm. Give reason why the handles of cooking pots are made of plastic. The answer: because plastic is a heat insulator that don't let the heat to flow through. Another question: why the cooking pots or electric iron are made of aluminium? The answer: because aluminium is a heat conductor, so it lets the heat to flow through. Another question: why the clothes that we wear in winter are made of wool? The answer: because wool is a heat insulator, so it don't let heat to flow through and to prevent the leakage of heat and keep our body warm. This is the last thing for today. Thank you for listening, and please be healthy and well.